This is the first song we wrote for this project, if I remember correctly. I think we wrote it kind of in the Gamble era, and it's an idea that we wrote a couple of times. We didn't write the song Steering Wheel multiple times, but we had kind of tried to hit on that idea of innocence and preserving youth and innocence. And this was the first time that I think we landed on it where we had something we both believed in. To me, this one's like, I know when we talked about it, it was kind of, who is he singing to? Is he singing to himself as a younger man, or is he singing to a kid? To me, this is a song for my oldest boy, John Robert. I think about him kind of, I see so much of me in him already at 4 years old, and he's kind of restless, and he's always excited for the next adventure. And my message to him and anyone listening to this song is like, just enjoy where you're at. You're going to appreciate the season you're in right now someday, even though you may not get it yet.
Enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
And soak it in.
Yeah.
And I writing it, I don't have kids, but I went back to younger Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those nights of, that Born to Run Friday night at 17, and everything that you need in that moment is there with you.
But you don't know it yet.
You don't know it. No.
At the time, you're like, I want the next thing. You're always looking for the next thing. And as older guys, we can look back and say, man, we had so much back then, and we just didn't realize it. I think Steering Wheel, I believe I had the title for it, but it was an idea, that we had tried several other times in different ways with different hooks and different concepts. And what I think I appreciate about writing with you is that you're the only writer who will write a song and say, hey, this song's done. And then I can come back and say, hey, actually, I changed my mind. I don't think it's done yet. And you're the one that I can go back to and say, hey, let's keep working on this. Let's keep pushing it, because I think we could do better.
I think that we pushed ourselves to be the best that we could be. You were building the tracks. You knew where it was going sonically, and lyrically we pushed ourselves to try to tell the best story we could. So.
Yeah, and something interesting about Steering Wheel, I think, is you kind of talked about building the tracks. For this record, almost every song started with a track. This is one, maybe the only one, I think, that started with a lyric.
Yeah.
We had the idea for the story before we had a track.
And it was before, it was during the Gamble record era, so it was before you had gotten big into tracks.
Yeah, I wasn't really building them the way that I am now.
This album's very cohesive from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
Yeah. It was meant to be more sonically cohesive, and it wasn't so much driven by a singular story the way that the Gamble was.
Right, 100%.